What's up, guys? Can y'all hear me? Hold on.
There we go. There we go. That's better. Now, can you hear me, Brandon?
There we go. Yeah, now I can hear you.
Great, great. Yeah, yeah. I forgot. You know what? I didn't add myself to this stream. I've been talking dead air for the past 10 minutes.
Come on now. What are you doing?
I've been talking dead air for almost 10 minutes. I forgot to add myself to the stream. I've been talking
Oh,
dead air for almost 10 minutes.
one job, Carter. One job. Oh, man.
Well, oh man, I forgot one of the things about this about StreamYard that you got to add yourself to the stream. That's one thing I forgot. That's one thing I didn't do it. I
Uh,
forgot to add myself to the stream. But when I was talking to myself for 10 minutes, I'm kind of surprised that no one has left us because just 10 whole minutes of dead air. But oh man. I think that what I was discussing about, what I was talking to myself apparently, was we was talking. Well, I was talking about the playoffs. We're in the play-in situation. We got the playoff. We got the play-in tournament beginning tonight.
yeah, that's right.
Yes, that's what I was discussing about. That we got the play-in tournament tonight. As a matter of fact, like I said, in about 20 minutes, we got the Hawks and the Heat. They're gonna do battle first. And coming up later, we're gonna have the Timberwolves, who's gonna be without Rudy Gobert for it's gonna be without Rudy Gobert tonight. He's suspended after what happened Sunday.
There was frustration. He just punched Kyle Anderson, I believe who that was.
Yeah, he was trying to go. He was trying to go for a swing. I think that was what was going on. He was trying to take a swing at Kyle Anderson, and then you could tell frustration is just reigning supreme because another one of their players is going to be out for to this game because he punched his hand to a board. So
That's
but I
frustration
think
right
one
there.
of the, I think one of the things I said was that you could tell frustration is setting in, especially we when the season got started, we thought that the Timberwolves was going to be one of those best teams that's going to run all over the Western Conference. Unfortunately, that's not what we're getting,
Hmm.
and that's not what we saw. Unfortunately, so also I got a question, and Brandon, you brought this up on Discord, and basically what we're seeing when the Mavericks, they traded for Kyrie Irving, and
Yeah,
now the Mavericks are they're not going to the playoffs. So I think that of all the teams, that had to be the most disappointing.
and I expected that to happen. To be quite honest, because
Hmm
I brought it up on Discord that those three teams are gonna be backfired from the spread, and boy, did I ever say so.
I'm pretty sure no one didn't expect this.
To be
But
fair, I kind of did.
and I think Unitary basically said that he was a cancer. And Mavericks basically traded literal cancer on the team. Team lost 17 of the next 24 games, and now they're going home. And here's the frustrating thing. I think someone posted a meme, like a SpongeBob meme, a Squidward was looking out the window and seeing like as if Kyrie is Squidward, and he sees the Nets going to the playoffs. He sees Kevin Durant going to the playoffs, but he's staying home.
Oh man,
Yeah, so
that
I think that, like I said, it's you could feel the frustration. You could feel the frustration coming in. You could feel the frustration. Now the Mavericks are hoping that he come back. I don't know whether or not they even want him back on the team. I'm not too sure, but then again, I don't own the Dallas Mavericks, so. But let me go ahead and bring this up. We got tomorrow night. We got the 9-10 games taking place tomorrow night. We got Chicago and Toronto. They're going to go first, and then followed by Oklahoma City and New Orleans. So now I think tomorrow night is must win because the losers of those games, they're out, and the winner
For
the winners of those games, they're going to advance to Friday, where they're going to play against the losers of the games which I mentioned earlier. So
yeah,
the
7 and 8.
winners of tonight's games, they're going to be the number 7 seed. So that's how come Boston and Memphis, they're watching those games in particular
Yeah.
because
If
the
if
winner.
anything, the one thing you have to be careful with for both teams, for Memphis, it's Los Angeles. As for Boston, it's Miami because remember what happened during the pandemic?
hmm Yes, I do believe my memory serves me correctly. That was the year Miami went on the miracle run to get to the NBA Finals, while everyone else, with everyone in the
Exact,
bubble. And one of the
exactly,
teams which they beat was Boston.
exactly. And who's
So
to say though?
that can I definitely think that could happen. So you're absolutely right. Boston needs to be careful. Boston needs to be aware of who they're going to play. So if
Yeah,
it's Miami, I can see Jimmy Butler being a threat to the Celtics. It's possible. And
yeah,
I'm pretty sure that the Heat wants to send Udonis Haslem off on a high note because this is his last season.
yeah.
So,
Longest hindered Miami Heat besides Dwayne Wade.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure they want to send him off on a high note. So that's
Knowing,
really something. That's really something to look at. Also, if you're the Lakers, I think that you're good now. Let's see if you can keep it up because you know that all you had to do is just beat Minnesota, who is pretty much in a mess. And if you could take
uh,
advantage of the situation, then you could get then probably you might be able to probably win a couple of games against Memphis. It's possible.
it
Um,
is very possible. And the other thing too is, say if you did beat Memphis to get into the the real deal, which is the NBA playoffs. Let me ask you this, Carter. When's the last time you saw an entire division make it all
I
the season? Like,
Yeah, I think well the Pacific Division obviously is a very tough division. I think
it
all
is.
of them finished above 500. All of them have a winning record, and all of them going to the playoffs. So,
Yeah. What are the odds of that?
so I'm still surprised that somehow, some way, the Sacramento Kings won the division. So Mike Brown deserves Coach of the Year, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned. He deserves Coach of the Year, the way how he turned that team around. But that's saying something. But I think also if you look at you have to wonder who in the East is going to stop the Milwaukee Bucks. Because they are one tough team, and I'm pretty
It,
sure.
and if you ask me, I think the only team that's close to it, it's either going to be the Hawks or the Bulls.
Hmm. So
Like I said close because
mhm,
you never know.
that is true, and upset can happen. We also got a very interesting first round matchup between New York and Cleveland.
Yeah.
So
Let's not forget. if there's anybody that knows New York well, it's Jarrett Allen because he played in New York, specifically with Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So he knows. So he knows.
Absolutely. So that's another way of looking at it. So that's going to be a very interesting series. Also, you got I'm gonna make sure I got the series straight. We got the Clippers and the Suns.
This okay, I'll be real. This right here, this can go either way. And if anything goes wrong, I guarantee you the Clippers is going to be all over Phoenix.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also, we also have the defending NBA champions, the Golden State Warriors. They're going to play against the surprising team of the Sacramento Kings. So I think I'm going to say I think Golden State's going to be Sacramento because Sacramento's not that much experienced in the playoffs.
Well, not
So
yet, but they do. Well, I'll say this though: they haven't been in the playoffs since 2006, 2005, 2005, 2006.
hmm
Yeah, so Russ could be a little bit on the side of the Kings because they haven't been there, so they could get a little rusty.
so and I like I said I expect Golden State to probably take advantage of the Kings' inexperience. So I definitely do see the Warriors advancing to the second round. You know, I definitely think that's a possibility. I don't know when they're gonna get to the NBA Finals. I highly doubt it because I'm pretty sure Coach Brandon Malone is whipping the Denver Nuggets a new one after he basically called his team soft. Um, I really don't know whether or not that's gonna fire up the Nuggets. That remains to be seen.
That's a scary thing because when you call your team soft and make them fire up, everybody's in trouble.
Absolutely, and I think that what most people have to understand also, if you're the Denver Nuggets, you have had numerous opportunities, you have had numerous chances. You know, basically at some point,
It's a big
you,
break that they needed.
yeah, because I think the Nuggets are still like, I don't want no, I take that back because I know the Nuggets haven't. They still haven't been to the NBA Finals yet. And I know that no Novich. No, God, I can't pronounce
Nikola
his
Jokic.
name. Yeah, I think that basically, he can still carry the Nuggets. The question is, can they finally get over the hump to get to the finals? I mean,
I
that
mean, he's
remains to
still.
be seen.
I mean, hey,
And
he didn't win last year's MVP for nothing.
that is true. And I think also, let me bring this up from what happened Sunday because, as everyone knows, Easter Sunday was the last day of the NBA regular season, and one of the
Mhm.
games which I saw highlights of just made me shake my head and discuss. It was when I'm gonna make sure I got the teams right. The Golden State Warriors played against the Portland Trail Blazers on the last game of the regular season, and boy, that game was not pretty. Uh,
No, it
it
wasn't.
was ugly with a capital U. The final score of that game was 157 to 101. Um,
Yeah,
you know, it just wasn't pretty at all. I mean, like as if the team just flat out quit. You know, no, I mean, you don't want to say it. You don't want to say it, but basically, they just flat out quit out there. Now, I like that we had the NBA come down the stretch, and now here we are, playoff time, getting ourselves ready. Atmosphere, folks, bracing themselves. It's gonna be a great series coming up, and like we said, in about 7 minutes, Atlanta and Miami is gonna be ready to go in the first play-in game,
right.
and that's gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
whether or not if Trey Young can keep up with Jimmy Butler, but that should be interesting to see
yeah.
this evening.
Yeah, and I'll say this though, with Miami, they got to be careful with they. Obviously, they know what they got to do when once they get Boston because Miami, yeah, you can say that there are a bunch of shooters out there, but the last thing you forget about is their defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be very, but I think it's gonna be a
That's,
very interesting game. Now,
yeah,
let's go ahead and hit the ice because the NHL season is coming down the stretch. First of all, congratulations to the Boston Bruins for setting a new league record for most wins in the regular season.
yeah.
Um, yeah, right now they are at 63, 12, and 5. Oof, man, I gotta admit that is very, very impressive. Um,
And unanimously they're going to be winning the President's Trophy, which that's not a surprise.
hmm
And the
I think the,
Metropolitan is still close.
yes, absolutely. You know, because Carolina, they're trying to stay ahead of New Jersey. Both of them are trying to
And
stay
the
ahead of New
Rangers.
York. Um, So that's gonna be interesting. And now, you know, like as if we're heading down this the last week of the regular season, and already the wild card spots are still up for grabs.
Yeah,
Um,
Islanders, Florida, Pittsburgh, those two are chomping at the bits.
yeah, we can't count out Buffalo, so don't
No,
want to count
no,
them out
no,
just yet.
no, I'm not.
And I think that one of the key things which we have to understand is easy and simple. Basically, New York, basically they have I think they got the last wild card spot, but man, they're just 1 point ahead of Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
And they can't afford to lose another game. You know
no,
that's the best way I could put it because they only got one game left. They can't lose it because if they lose it, they're in trouble. Um, there's
no.
no question in my mind because, like I said, Islands they only got one game left. Pittsburgh's got two. Islanders and the Panthers have one game left. Pittsburgh got two, and Buffalo has 3 games left.
Well, yeah. Also, New Jersey got 2 games left, including this one that we're seeing just now. That the Devils have scored against Buffalo. It's 1-0 with a little less than 8 minutes left.
Yes. So I think it's safe to assume we're
That's
looking
a
at
lot.
possibly a must-win situation for the Buffalo Sabres. They need to win to stay in the hunt. Because if they lose, they could pretty much forget about going to the playoffs. They could kiss that goodbye.
I mean, they got.
Um,
I mean, they got 3 games left, so there's plenty of time for them to make a big run.
yeah, and it better start soon. Meanwhile, over in Raleigh, the Hurricanes lead the Red Wings 2-0 right now in the
Oh
first
boy.
quarter. I mean, in the first period. So
Yeah.
we also have a scoreless situation between the Capitals and the Bruins.
Oh, that's a power
Um,
play.
so
It's a power
like
play. Don't forget that. It ain't just begun. So,
That's true. Um, we also have the Blue Jackets leading the Flyers 1-0 in the first.
oh
Um,
man.
and a preview of the Stanley Cup playoff.
Yeah,
Maple Leafs and Lightning they are scoreless right now.
yeah, yeah.
So that should be interesting. Also, we got coming up later on this evening. We got the Blackhawks and the Penguins. They're going to do battle. Um, We also have the Jets and the Wild. They're going to do battle. We got the Oilers and the Avalanche. We have the Canucks and the Ducks. They won. I'm sorry. Um, and finally, we got the Kraken and the Golden Knights. I think Las Vegas has a chance to possibly. I think they got a possible chance to clinch the Pacific Division tonight. I doubt it, but
They
as,
do.
as I,
If they
I think.
do, if they do, if I believe, I know Edmonton is a part of it, but if they do get the Pacific Division, that means they got to win it, or or you know,
Hmm
they just got to win it.
Yeah. I
either
think
way.
that Vegas can clinch if they win and Edmonton loses.
Yeah,
So,
that's how I see it.
hmm yes, I think they can clinch it if they win and Edmonton loses. So I think that is a distinct possibility. Um,
Yeah,
Also, pretty much we you got two teams battling for one spot. Winnipeg and Nashville battling for that last wild card spot. So it's a complete toss up. Winnipeg they're 3 points ahead of Nashville.
yeah,
So
yeah. A win here for Winnipeg to get them a playoff spot.
yeah, I think that yeah, you're absolutely right, Brandon. All they gotta do is just win. I think I know I said earlier they're playing tonight, and like you said,
They
if they
are
do,
against the Minnesota Wild.
yes, okay, then I want to make sure. Yeah, so now, and I'm pretty sure somewhere Nashville is hoping that they lose, so that at least they could at least try and keep up with them.
Yeah,
And so that's a distinct possibility. Let's hit the baseball field. Let's hit the baseball diamond real quick. First of all, what a
yeah.
run the Tampa Bay Rays are on. I mean,
Oh,
they are
I
10
mean, it's
and
early,
0.
so I mean, it's early, so
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's early, but man, they are 10 and 0 right now. I mean, that's saying something. We haven't
yeah,
seen a team start that hot in a long time.
no, just don't see that very much. And it's early right now, but if you look at the rest of the scores here, have of course Progressive Field, the Yankees heading to Cleveland, and they're up 8-2 in the bottom of the fifth.
Uh-oh, I smell a blowout. I smell a distinct blowout coming. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty
No,
at
not at
all.
all. Of course,
Also, we got going
yeah,
on at Camden Yards on the A's and the Orioles in the bottom
that's
of the third. Uh, we got a full
tied
count
at
situation.
with two, yeah, and it's also 2 out as well. So
Yeah, that's about to say we got a full count situation going on in the bottom of the third. It's tied at two apiece between the A's and the Orioles in Baltimore. Um,
yeah.
midway through the fourth,
Houston,
midway through the fourth inning. By the way, that inning just ended because someone got struck out. Um, midway through the fourth inning, we're tied at two apiece between the Astros and the Pirates. So, looking
yeah,
interesting.
those are double quick.
At
Well, the Rays gone perfect in three.
Yeah, no
But
hits. Yeah, no hits, but like we said, it's early. 2-0. Tampa Bay leading. This game's heading to the top of the fourth. The Marlins are leading the Phillies 1-0.
yeah, and
Um,
warming up, we have the Tigers heading up north, face against the Blue Jays.
Absolutely. That should be interesting. Um, top of the
Well,
second. I was about to say top of the second. We're still scoreless between the Padres and the Mets.
do you
Um,
realize that this is a wild card rematch?
Oh yes, and I'm pretty sure that the Mets still have a little bit of revenge on their minds after how San Diego beat them last year. So,
Yeah,
so I'm pretty
yeah.
sure they still got a little bit of revenge on their minds. We also have bottom of the first, um, Reds
Oh,
and
that's
Braves. We're
uh,
still scoreless.
yeah,
So,
that's a start.
like I said, this game just got started in the bottom of the first, so they're scoreless. Couple of games coming up this evening. Oh, I take that back. Olsen just hit a home run. Braves lead the Reds 1-0.
That's
So
what we said. It's what we were saying before. Don't tell your against too soon, or else something bad would happen.
yep, absolutely. We have coming up. We got the White Sox and the Twins coming up later on this evening.
That's
That game's
staying
good.
at the Target Field in Minneapolis.
Absolutely. Um, we also got the Mariners and the Cubs. That's coming up later
Uh,
on this evening.
yes, at the legendary Wrigley Field.
Absolutely. We got the Warriors and the Rangers. That's coming up at the Globe Life Field, so that's gonna be a
Yeah,
good game.
yeah.
Rangers out to a good start so far. So
And so
say
far,
it's a,
but I got, but you got a best bet that something would go wrong at the later half.
that is true. I mean, we have seen numerous times teams that gets off on a hot start, they don't finish strong. So I definitely do see a point. We also got the Cardinals and the Rockies. They're going to do battle later on this evening.
Yeah,
Um, over
that's
at Coors
gonna go
Field.
over there. Yeah, that's
That's
not
going to be
gonna
a good
be good.
game. We also have the
That's
Nationals and the Angels.
mm,
And that, yeah,
okay. Fine.
Otani's pitching tonight.
Yeah, gonna be quite. It's gonna be quite a show right there. No pun intended. Yeah, we have next up we have the Brewers and the Diamondbacks at at Chase Field, and I'll be honest with you, seeing the D-backs starting off 7-4, that's kind of a surprise.
Absolutely. It's nice seeing Arizona. The Diamondbacks doing good. Good start. Also
From
great to see the Brewers
collapse.
doing good too. So
Yeah, let's
that's
just
gonna
hope
be
both of
very.
those. Yeah, let's just hope both of those teams don't collapse.
Yes, absolutely. I agree. I'm just hoping that the Brewers hitting could pick up the matchup with the pitching. That's what I'm hoping because we've seen over the past couple seasons how uh, Brewers are great at pitching. The hitting is a completely different story. And we got
Yeah.
Cali ball tonight over in
Ah,
San
yes, we
Fran.
do. Yes, we do. It's the Dodgers and the Giants.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that is going to be a very great game to see. That's gonna be we got some very good action so far in the MLB. And like we said, we know it's early. We've seen teams on a hot start
Yeah,
starting
and
real hot.
yeah, and it's funny how I mentioned. It's funny how you mentioned the Mets because I did brought this up to Jacob, and it's specifically about one player, Kodai Senga. He he started off he started off hot with 2 wins in his MLB year, in his debut in the MLB. I think it's a big question, and this may be early, but it has to be asked. If Kodai Senga keeps up this good pitching, will we see him in this year's All Star game in Seattle?
Mm, that would be very. You know what? That would be a great thing to see. Can you imagine him going head up against Shohei Otani?
Oh man, that would be a classic duel right there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, if he could keep up with this pace and stay healthy, then absolutely, there'll be no doubt in my mind that would be a classic All Star game right there.
Yeah, that would be.
That would be a classic All Star game right there. Now, let's go ahead and shift gears and we go hit to the gridiron because Odell Beckham Jr. has a home now.
Yeah, but it isn't what we expected.
No, I'm pretty sure the Jets are not too thrilled.
To
Odell
be fair,
Beckham
well,
Jr. is on his way to Baltimore.
yeah, one
Uh,
year, 18 million,
hmm
and here's the big problem with it. Do they even have a quarterback?
That's a good question because we're still watching the soap opera of as Lamar Jackson turns, um, because we have absolutely no clue whatsoever whether or not if Lamar Jackson is going to be playing for Baltimore because they already tagged him. So basically, what he could do, he could sit out the entire season. I could
If
definitely see him do that. He could sit out the entire season, and if he does that, Baltimore's in trouble. So it's a very distinct possibility. And with the draft coming up in about 2 weeks, with the draft coming up in about 2 weeks, you have to wonder whether or not if the Ravens would draft a QB.
Mhm.
I mean, now if you're going to draft a QB, then you might as well go ahead and raise the white flag or surrender, saying we're starting over. You know, and I'm pretty sure they don't want to send that message that hey, we're starting over. We're going to trade away. If the price is right, we're going to trade away Lamar Jackson. I highly doubt they go do that. I highly doubt they go do that. Otherwise, we're gonna have a pissed off Jamal on our hands. Um, and then take it from us here, folks. You do not want to be around a pissed off Jamal. But it's very interesting to figure out how they're going to handle this, how they're going to do this, how in the world are the Ravens going to handle this situation? And you had to ask yourself that question. Meanwhile, we're still waiting for the trade to go through so that Aaron Rodgers can officially be a Jet. So
And 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 credit to Aaron Rodgers for that, 'cause he knows it's not going to be an overtime type of thing. He's looking to drag it out a little bit, and hey, if the
hmm
Jets pulled the trigger, I mean they got it.
absolutely. Now, also, let me go ahead and bring this up because there was a trade. The Lions traded away Okuda to the Falcons. Let me
Yeah.
see if I can get some
It's a
info on
draft
that.
pick. It's for a draft pick.
hmm And so, but I think that we're seeing. There we go. And yeah, you're right, Brandon. The Falcons are going to receive a fifth round draft pick this year's draft. Wow.
Mm,
So I guess Atlanta themselves are saying, "Hey, we're gonna do a little bit of rebuilding on our own over here." So I mean, that's what I'm guessing. They're
yeah,
going to work on, I guess. And we know that the NFC South is winnable because
yeah.
basically now you got Baker Mayfield in Tampa, and you got Derek Carr over in New Orleans, and Carolina got the first overall pick, so they probably might be drafting a QB. So that leaves Atlanta. So I mean,
Mm,
it is a very distinct toss up. Now, speaking of Tampa might have a very serious problem in their hands because their linebacker Devin White wants to be traded.
oh God.
So the Buccaneers probably might have a problem in their hands. Let me just read this article for you. It says that Tampa Bay Buccaneers Pro Bowl inside linebacker and 2019 first round draft pick Devin White has requested a trade. One of the sources told ESPN that White has grown increasingly frustrated with the team and is fed up. That's not good.
Yeah,
The source did not provide specific on the root cause of White's frustration, but has said he has become very unhappy in his current situation. And another source tells ESPN that White's frustration stems from negotiations over a new contract. So
oh
yeah,
boy.
that's not looking pretty.
No.
Of course, naturally the Bucks do not want to trade him, but White wants to be traded as he is coming up on his fifth-year option worth $11.7 million, which the team has
Mm,
already picked up. A new multi-year contract for White was the next step, and the expectation was that White would be a core member of the defense for years to come. So I'm pretty sure that Coach Todd Bowles can smooth out the frustration of what's going on here with this team. I can pretty much assure you, he probably might be able to smooth things out here. But as we get ready to head for the draft, um, you expecting any surprises in this upcoming draft, Brandon?
To be quite honest, it's not to say that I am expecting surprises, but I'm gonna be well aware of what the hell is gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause remember the last time that happened?
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, our good buddy Malik is still bitching and moaning about it, about what happened last year when the Titans decided to go ahead and trade AJ Brown to the Eagles.
Yeah,
So
and
he's bitching and moaning about that. I really, really feel bad. What
then he
happens
put
if the Titans? I was about to say
but
if
then
he's really bitching and moaning about that, I really feel bad if the Titans trade away Derrick Henry. We'll never hear the
oh
end of it.
oh
Uh,
God.
and so, but we'll never hear the end of it. But I'll be the first one to tell you, we're gonna have a draft party here in this bar on the 27th of April. Be the first round. We're not going to go all hog out and go one through what is it, seven? The NFL draft is rounds 1 through 7. I think that's how they did it, how they do it. But we're just only doing the first round that Thursday. We'll let the experts handle the rest, but we're having a draft party right here. Um, we start off at 7:45 Eastern, 6:45 Central, right here, and we invite you all to join us. And I promise you, once we get the hang of this stream, everyone's voice will be heard, and we will start on time. I promise. Uh, like I said, 10, 10, 10 minutes of silence is no good. So I do apologize for that. Yeah, 10 minutes of silence is no good. Talking 10 minutes and you thought that you wanted to hear. But Brandon, I do thank you for joining me here tonight.
No problem.
Um, like we said, hopefully, once we get the hang of it, we'll be back here next week, right here at this very same spot.
Yeah,
Um,
hopefully with a lot more people.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, because I think Cody said that he had to do some kind of what madhouse, yeah, some kind of
Yeah,
production.
but yeah, I saw that on the chat. I know what he's talking about.
So hopefully he'll be back with us here next week. Hopefully Jake will be back here with us next week. Uh, we do want to thank everyone for joining us here. Like I said, this is our first show here on StreamYard. Not too bad, not too shabby. Let's get the winkles out of the way, and we'll try to do a better job next week. And hopefully, like we said, we hope to have more people here. Because if it's just us two, we can't talk forever. So that's the best way I could put it. So thank you for joining me here this evening, Brandon. And ladies and
No
gentlemen,
problem.
we thank you for tuning in. We thank you for listening. We thank you for watching. We'll be back here better than ever, God willing, next week right here on this podcast. Until then, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you back here next week. Until then, good night and take care.
You know.